Right now, investigators in Illinois are searching for former Jacksonville Jaguars defensive back Sergio Brown after they found his mother's body over the weekend.
They seen him taking out the trash, and they seen him had a bonfire where he burnt all her clothes. They said he wasn't himself the past few months. He was out of his mind.
Tonight we have cell phone video of former NFL player Sergio Brown fighting with Mexican officers on an airplane in Mexico City.
They're kidnapping me. They're kidnapping me.
We know now Brown was being extradited back to the United States on charges of murdering his 73-year-old mother, Myrtle Brown.
This is Sergio Brown, an ex-NFL player whose mother's body was found wrapped in a white sheet, beaten to death, laying in a creek behind the home the two of them shared.
She and family members went back to search and discovered her sister's body in the creek.
You see, Sergio's mother had stopped responding to everyone just a couple of weeks prior, and when family came to check on her out of concern, they found a gruesome crime scene and her son, the ex-superstar football player who she lived with, gone.
Well, a former Patriots player is missing as police investigate his mother's death. Sergio Brown played in New England in 2010 and 2011.
Not only gone, but in Mexico of all places. Like, that's the place you go when you did something wrong. But Mexico, and suddenly the ex-New England Patriot was now the prime suspect in the taking of the life of his own mother.
Court documents also show the ex-NFL player booked a one-way ticket to Cancun, Mexico, and used his mother's credit card to book 2 Airbnb reservations for more than $3,000.
But look, this isn't just another true crime story. This is much bigger, because while the family and investigators were looking for Sergio, he would be online going viral all over TMZ and Instagram, acting like it was fake news that he was missing and or that his mother was dead. And so while his family and the police had just discovered his mother's body and couldn't find him, the man who lived with her and who saw her last was in Cancun, Mexico, knucking if you bucking and making TikToks. And also, if you ain't noticed, having a whole psychological break.
Women just keep swimming. What the missing? They ain't never seen Finding Nemo. What the is going?
While trying to convince people that, again, nothing was happening here, nothing to see here, just losing my mind. What happened to my mom's body?
Mama was on vacation in Sinaloa. That's fake news. Get the my goddamn face.
Well, things would get crazier as a manhunt started for Sergio in an entirely different country. And then new shocking evidence would come out about how Sergio killed his mother and how he also robbed her and also allegedly tried in the most terrible way to cover it all up, which of course didn't work.
Cameras in the area captured the offender burning items in a fire pit on the evening of September 14th. Police later found burnt fabric in the same fire pit.
See, this story has twists and turns, so you will have to watch to the end, because we here at the Church of Iamjoestone, like always, don't judge. We give you the most provocative and shocking stories in the culture so that you can, the viewer. So let us know if you think Sergio is a man who just lost his mind or is a cold-blooded killer, and we'll dive into all the details that got us here. So make sure you hit subscribe and welcome to the Church of Iamjoestone. Look, this story is shocking for a lot of reasons, but one of the craziest parts of it is just who Sergio was. See, looking back at his interviews and all of the footage of him being a pro baller, you would immediately assume that he was a nice guy, a genuine guy, a well-mannered guy, soft-spoken, a cool dude.
So I just want to be out on the field as much as I can. You know, I love these guys in the locker room. I want to help out my teammates as much as I can. So if I'm out there able to help them out on defense as well, I mean, I would love it.
You would never guess that that guy would be capable of the kind of crimes he is now being accused of, leading one to believe that he may have suffered some kind of psychotic break that turned him into the person who is currently locked up for the murder of his mom. But who exactly was he, and why is this all shocking? I'll break it down. See, Sergio Brown was a former safety who played for multiple teams in the NFL, including the New England Patriots, Indianapolis Colts, Jacksonville Jaguars, and Atlanta Falcons. Oh, the Buffalo Bills as well. You see, he was raised in Maywood, Illinois by his mother, Myrtle, and his father, Mario, who was the first black basketball player at Texas A&M.
And I was kind of surprised by the opportunity to come over here, but we've been out here basically teaching the guys the game, getting them acclimated to football, and giving them like a professional to be to make the game feel more tangible.
You see, Sergio played football at Notre Dame, was undrafted in 2010 before signing with the Patriots later that year. He played about 7 seasons in the NFL before ending his career in 2016. But now, years after his retirement, Sergio was making headlines for totally new reasons after he was arrested for his mother's murder and is now the main suspect in that case. But what exactly happened, and why are police so sure that they've got their man? Well, to be honest, Sergio kind of made it easier for him. You see, on September 16th, police in Maywood, Illinois discovered the body of 73-year-old Myrtle Brown in a creek behind her home. They were conducting a welfare check after family members grew concerned that they could not get in contact with her or her son, Sergio. You see, she was last seen alive around 6 p.m. on September 14th at her home at 1125 Nichols Lane. Her other son started to get worried after he stopped receiving text messages from Myrtle around 3 p.m. that day. He went to the home that she shared with Sergio, looked around, and apparently didn't find anything, and that's when he contacted police. When officers arrived, they found blood on the patio and started to get suspicious. They conducted a search of the area, which is when a former neighbor discovered her body wrapped in a sheet about 150 feet from the back door. An autopsy revealed that she was killed by blunt force trauma, so her official cause of death was ruled a homicide. After searching the property, police discovered cleaning products with bleach in the bathtub drain. Myrtle's iPad, credit card, and phone were all missing, but her cigarettes were still there. Police would then obtain security cameras from the area that showed Sergio burning bits of fabric in a fire pit on the night Myrtle went missing, looking like he was trying to cover up some type of crime. They also realized that Sergio and Myrtle's phones were in the same location on September 14th and 15th until they suddenly went dark. So at this point, the officers get there, they see blood on the patio, they find the body, they find bleach was used, they find a fire pit used to burn clothes. The DNA that they found at the patio was a match for what they believed to be Sergio's toothbrush in the home. And now they were going to look for the main suspect in all of this, Sergio, who had took his mama's credit cards and dipped. So while the search was officially on, police weren't sure if he was responsible at first for this crime or if there was another victim. Because again, at first he was missing, but it started looking very strange, especially when his family told police that they hadn't heard from him since his mother's disappearance and could not locate him either.
Is the mother of a former NFL player.
WGN's Jewel Hillary joins us live in Melrose Park with the latest details. Jewel.
But again, it didn't take long to track Sergio down. They found out Sergio had just booked a one-way ticket to Cancun, Mexico at 3 a.m. on the morning of September 15th. He then took an Uber to the airport in Chicago and flew out that morning.
Anthony, prosecutors revealed new details about the days leading up to Brown's disappearance and the killing of his mother. It all started when Brown's 73-year-old mother stopped responding to family members over text messaging.
And this is how they were able to track him, because the bank records showed that Sergio used Myrtle's Capital One Venture card to book 2 Airbnbs in Colombia, once on September 21st and again on October 6th. And now the police started to believe that Sergio was the actual culprit when they not only found the blood and the DNA match, but to the toothbrush on the patio, but also to the blood and DNA under the fingernails of Sergio's mother, meaning that she struggled with her attacker, who seems to have been her son. So at this point, the police no longer think Sergio's in trouble. They think he's on the run. And all while this is happening, he's partying in Mexico all over his Instagram. And this was where things would get out of control, because I didn't understand. When I first saw this story, I did think it was fake news. I thought someone had lied on this man, and this is the football player being assaulted by the media. So it worked on me when he did this next thing, which was making videos addressing the situation and calling it all fake news. And he also tried to claim that he thought his mom was on vacation and blamed it all on the FBI and Mayweather police.
They kidnapped me twice from home, the Maywood Police Department, right? Chris Football did it twice. Aaron Peppers was there the second time that it happened. It had to be the FBI or the Maywood Police. I thought mama was on vacation in Sinaloa.
I thought at this time he was telling the truth, because I wasn't following the story. And it's so much fake news these days, he's just on vacation and you guys are trying to put a murder on him. But that wasn't the case. What was actually happening is this man was losing his mind, because in another video, he makes a strange reference to the Disney film Finding Nemo before breaking into a fit of laughter.
I got it. Dory is. It's P. Sherman, 42, Wallaby Way, Sydney. Oh my gosh, I can't. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. What the?
He was obviously losing his mind now, and people had stopped buying the fact that he had nothing to do with his mom's murder as more facts about the actual case came to light. And police at this point knew they had to bring Sergio in for questioning. But because he was in Mexico, they couldn't just go and arrest him, which I think was a part of his plan. So while they worked on having him extradited, Sergio, he decided to live it up south of the border and was spotted partying in Tulum as well. In a video cropped by TMZ, you can see him dancing with partygoers and chatting it up with multiple people, swagging and surfing and having the time of his life. While all this time, he had just taken the life of his mother. It didn't look like Sergio was grieving or that he had remorse. It looked like he was trying to live it up as much as possible before everything came crashing down and his crimes would catch up to him. See, police believe that Sergio had plans to travel from Mexico to Colombia, which is why he booked the Airbnbs with his mother's credit card. But before he could leave the country, he was detained in Mexico City on October 7th. He was then extradited and put on a plane to San Diego, where he got into a scuffle with authorities.
Oh, okay.
During the scuffle on the airplane, a doctor tries to calm down Brown.
You want a glass of water?
And offers him a glass of water.
And this was another viral video that came out surrounding the story, which is Sergio literally fighting with the man trying to extradite him back to the States while onlookers film it, and he claims he's being kidnapped while simultaneously screaming like a mad person. When he eventually arrived in San Diego, U.S. Customs and Border Patrol discovered he was carrying Myrtle's missing cell phone, iPad, and various bank and credit cards. The man had the evidence on him.
Sergio Brown is in police custody in connection with the death of his mother. 73-year-old Myrtle Brown of suburban Maywood was found dead in a creek near her home last month. Authorities ruled her death a homicide, and her son, Sergio Brown, is the prime suspect.
Which led to him officially being arrested on October 10th and extradited back to Illinois on the 12th, where he was charged with first-degree murder and concealing a homicide. He appeared in court for the first time on October 25th, but was denied bail after the judge ruled him a threat to others as well as a flight risk. So he will remain locked up until at least his next court hearing on November 22nd.
Set to be in court at noon.
He was arrested for first-degree murder after prosecutors say he killed his own mother. Mugo Odigwe is live at the Maywood Courthouse breaking down.
He is currently being represented by a public defender who claims that all the evidence so far is just circumstantial and there's no witnesses to the crime. However, the public is still shocked by his lack of emotion and strange behavior after the murder, which makes him seem more guilty than ever. In his mugshot, he even appears to be grinning, not seeming to be bothered by the severity of his crimes or being worried about going to jail for him. And there's also been reports that he showed no emotion in court and still has not provided any excuses for why he disappeared right after his mother's death, or why he had all her belongings. So while we here at the Church of Joestone do believe in innocent until proven guilty, things are not looking great for Sergio Brown. Since her death, friends and family have remembered Myrtle as a beautiful and loving and inspirational soul who went out of her way to make others feel special. It's hard to imagine who could have triggered Sergio or what could have triggered Sergio to make him commit such a shocking crime. But hopefully the legal process will reveal answers to this sad mystery so at least the family can get some closure. But you let us know what you think at this point. Did Sergio just lose his mind? Is this man evil? Is he crazy? Do you think that all of this could be circumstantial evidence, or maybe something else happened that was some type of freak occurrence that can explain all these pieces of evidence that lead to Sergio Brown looking like a cold-blooded killer? I don't know. It does seem like something is deeply wrong with the man. And if you look at the old videos of him in his interviews and while he was in his prime and in the NFL, he seemed like the exact kind of person that you would want to be a friend with or be a part of your family. Seemed like a great guy. But when you look into the eyes of the man now, when he makes those Instagram posts or when he's arrested or even in the court drawing of him, that doesn't look like the same person is sitting behind those eyes. That's all I'm saying. But let us know what you think in the comments. I am Joestone, and this is the Church of Joestone podcast. Where cool comes to pray, you come to stay and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another video coming your way, where we find the most shocking and provocative news and we take it to church. I will see you in the next one.